Hey, welcome back for a new semester of Titan Sports. I'm Oscar Rodriguez.
Hi everyone, I'm Marisa Flores.
I'm Elmira Darmanian.
And I'm Ethan Michael. And we're here to get the ball rolling for you to provide you with your weekly sports updates. Welcome back to Titan Sports.
This month has been huge for the sport of tennis. We had not only one, but two major superstars announce their retirement from the competitive scene. Serena Williams broke ESPN records last week, in which an average of 4.8 million viewers tuned in for her US Open match against Ajla Tomljanovic. This viewership solidified the match as ESPN's most watched tennis match in its entire 43-year history.
After 27 years on the professional tour, 39 Grand Slam titles, and the numerous impressive feats on the tennis court, Serena gave her fans an emotional farewell. There's no question that Serena and her sister Venus has helped shape the last 2 decades of women's professional tennis, and they both have left legacies for future generations to follow.
On to the men's division, the equally as remarkable player, Roger Federer, gave it word about his own retirement plans. He will no longer be competing in the ATP Tour and future Grand Slams following the Laver Cup next week in London. The 20-time Grand Slam winner stated, quote, "Tennis has treated me more generously than I've ever would have dreamt, and now I must recognize when it is time to end my competitive career. I've worked hard to return to full competitive form, but I also know my body capacities and limits," end quote. Losing the presence of both these stars in the sport will truly be felt by the fans across the world.
In more local sports news, the boys in blue are headed to the playoffs once again. And that means CSUF's very own is set to hit the big stage for another year. Cal State Fullerton's own Justin Turner and the Los Angeles Dodgers have made it official Tuesday night, securing the NL West Division for the 9th time in 10 years, defeating the Diamondbacks in a 4-0 game.
In the clincher, the Dodgers offense belted 3 home runs in the ballgame, the first coming from outfielder Joey Gallo in the second inning, followed by a Freddie Freeman home run in the third and a Max Muncy home run in the 7th.
The Dodgers become the first team to clinch their ticket to the postseason, and as of now, they hold the best record in baseball, with a record of 98 wins and 43 losses, and 55 games over 500 in the win-loss column. This is their 9th divisional title in the last 10 years. Thanks for representing Fullerton, Turner.
To kick off the 2022 football season, the Bills defeated the Rams at SoFi Stadium with a final score of 31-10.
The Bills started out strong as early as the first quarter. When the wide receiver Gabe Davis scored a touchdown with the help of Josh Allen, the Bills scored an additional 3 points with a field goal in the second quarter, briefly making the game 10-0. But the Rams came through, put up some points on the scoreboard, and when the team's receiver Cooper Kupp caught the ball from Matthew Stafford, ending the first half at 10-7.
The third quarter definitely had Rams fans hoping for a comeback. However, the Bills had something else in mind. They left the Rams in the dust after touchdowns made by Isaiah McKenzie, Josh Allen, and Stephon Diggs, who caught the last touchdown thrown for over 50 yards away.
Taking a look at the AFC North in a bizarre Week 1 matchup, we saw last year's Super Bowl contenders, the Cincinnati Bengals, lose to their AFC North rivals, the Pittsburgh Steelers, in overtime, which was their opening game of the 2022-2023 season.
With 2 seconds remaining left in the fourth quarter, kicker Evan McPherson had a chance to kick the go-ahead winner, but was blocked by Steelers safety Minkah Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick's effort forced the overtime game to send it up to 20-20.
At the conclusion of a back-and-forth game, we ultimately see Steelers kicker Chris Boswell kick a 53-yarder as time expires. Although the Bengals were the better team on a paper and had home field advantage, it goes to show that on any given Sunday, anything can truly happen. So the Bengals and Steelers will meet during a Week 11 matchup on November 20th again. So who do you think will be the better team by then?
I definitely think the Steelers had the tougher defense, for sure. It seemed as if Joe Burrow couldn't really pick up off of last season. He seemed like he was struggling a little bit. I think it was a total of 5 turnovers. So we'll see. I think for me, I'm probably going to take the Steelers.
Same with Marisa. I have the Steelers, just overall their defense, but I think also by that time, I think they're going to give their first-round pick, Kenny Pickett, a chance to be a starter. I'm not a big fan of Mr. Trubisky, so hopefully with Kenny Pickett around, maybe they'll have more explosive offense, and I think that's what they're lacking of during that game. So I got the Steelers for the next game.
Well said, well said. We got your weekly fix of Cal State Fullerton sports coming at you. That's right, Titan Timeline's headed your way. Stay tuned, Titans.
Welcome back, Titans. This is Titan Timeline. I'm your host, Isaiah Ruiz.
And I'm Katie Alves. We're here to keep you updated with all the action at home.
Starting off with women's golf, the Titans women's team tied for 5th out of 18 teams with a score of 58 over par 9-10 at the first tournament of the year. Alina Saksa finished tremendously, tied for 6th after shooting 8 over par 221. Davina Xan playing her first collegiate tournament, tied for 11th. They have a quick turnaround as they are back on the course this Sunday.
Our very own Nadia Kawanui has been named the Big West Defensive Player of the Week in women's volleyball. Kawanui is currently ranked 5th in the conference in total digs with 106. The Titans travel to Phoenix this weekend for matches against California Baptist on Friday and Grand Canyon on Saturday.
Moving on to the soccer field, Cal State Fullerton men's soccer unfortunately fell to LMU on the road at Sullivan Field Thursday evening with a score of 2-1. With this loss, the Titans are now 4 wins, 2 losses, and 1 tie. With another game scheduled this Sunday at 1 p.m. Pacific time, the men's soccer team hopes to score a win against the University of San Diego. All right, week 1 of the NFL, Bills versus Rams, potential Super Bowl matchup. You got the Bills doing their thing on defense. What specifically did you think about Von Miller, his performance in that week 1 game?
Yeah, I think it was really impressive for Von Miller to come back from the Rams after just winning the Super Bowl with them and to completely beat them.
Yeah.
He did really well that game, and I am personally a Von Miller fan.
Oh.
I've been with him since the Broncos, and then his injury, winning MVP with the Broncos. I think he has a really good future going for him with the Bills.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't expect him to play this well at the age of 33, and in the game he had a couple of sacks and 3 quarterback hits. He looks like the Von Miller from Denver that we all were so used to seeing, being able to get low and get to the quarterback at an effective rate. So it was nice to see him play well. I'm a Steelers fan, but I do love Von Miller. He's an awesome player, and I don't blame him for taking the money. He's 33. That's his last big contract he's gonna get probably. So it's exciting to see him play well again.
It was definitely a good team to choose, I think, for his career right now.
Oh, definitely. I agree. I totally agree.
That's all the CSUF sports news we have for you today.
Stay tuned for our roundtable discussion coming up next, Titans.
The places we will go. We are perfect forever.
Behind every seat is a story. Behind every story is the reason for transparency.
So I'm back to tennis. What's the next move for these 2 tennis legends, for Serena Williams? What do you guys think?
I truly believe that Serena's kind of move to evolve from tennis is something that is important for her, even though she's been in a public eye for so long and she had such a great impact on the history of tennis overall. I think it's important and we should respect her decision to evolve away from it. She, of course, will play tennis from time to time, but I think it's going to be something more personal than in a public eye.
Absolutely. I'm glad you said that because, they sacrifice so much, and we're kind of spoiled as fans because of how much greatness she brings to us. But she's a mom now, and I think that's her priority right now. And if she decides to come back, she definitely can. I think people like Tom Brady have shown that that age is just a number, and that you can come back after you just take a break. So now we got baseball. We got the very consistent Los Angeles Dodgers. Just consistent. Their top 3 players are consistent. Are they the favorites going in?
I definitely think so. I think their hitting lineup is definitely something to be afraid of. I mean, Freddie Freeman went 12 for 22 with 3 homers to take home his 3rd weekly honor of the year. And Justin Turner, his OPs, at the end of June, 673, end of July, 738, August, 752, and now 798. So I think them clinching that spot, they definitely have something to prove for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. I think everyone knows that Dodgers, even in the beginning of the season, everyone knew the Dodgers were going to be the favorites.
Yeah.
But every Dodger fan knows when it comes to the postseason whether they can remain consistent and whether they can finish all the way. So that's my biggest question: will they be able to make it as 2020?
I'm kind of hoping that they kind of slump now, so they just get the slump out the way, so they can be hot at the right time. But they're looking great. They're looking great.
Yeah, they're a good team.
Well, some of their pitchers, actually, speaking of, are still kind of shaky right now. I know Tony Gonsolin, he's still experiencing some shoulder soreness he was mentioning. Blake Trinan, on the other hand, returned from from a partial tear in his shoulder. But that's kind of just poking holes into their pitching staff because they have, oh my gosh, Ruiz, they have Kershaw, they have Anderson.
And they brought Dustin Mayback too.
Yeah,
Dustin
exactly.
Mayback.
So, I mean, I think they're still going to be good, but like you said, just can they remain consistent? And like you said, the Dodger fans, if we have any in the house, I better see you guys there because I will definitely be there. So it's definitely going to be something to look forward to, I think. All right, Titans, well, that's all the time we have for you today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Marisa Flores.
Come back every week for more sports news. I'm Oscar Rodriguez.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Elmira Darmanian.
And I'm Ethan Michael. Give us a follow on Instagram and Twitter if you haven't already at CSUF Titan Sports. Keep you updated on all things sports. Happy Friday, Titans.